Imagine getting paid to check out all the new games that want to be on the PlayStation platform. That's what the game evaluators do. Hey, it's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. At E3, the biggest game trade show of the year, we got two evaluators, Chris Colon and Mark Vitello, to pick what they thought were some of the coolest new titles. Here are just a few of them.
If you're a big fan of Japanese anime or giant combat, Omega Boost is the game for you. Omega Boost is a really cool game that was created by the developers of Gran Turismo. Incredible graphics, the gameplay speed is unbelievable. We got 19 diverse stages, true 3D, free-roaming environments, so players can attack and be attacked from all directions. You have ground-based missions, you also have missions that take place in space. You have missions where you're actually inside spaceships shooting at enemies. So the gameplay will never repeat itself. It is truly amazing. Burning around town, cops on your butt, that's Driver.
The idea behind Driver really was to create a game which is a simulation, or the closest possible simulation to Hollywood car chases and TV shows. Things such as the Dukes of Hazzard, Smokey and the Bandit. One of the things that we really try to make different about this game is that most driving games or racing games taking place on a normal looping track. With Driver, you can actually drive anywhere. There's around 30 miles of road in each city, four-wheel independent suspension, or you can see as you go flying over the hills of San Francisco, all the cars are also leaping off the road. This is the chase that I've just had. Now, it's stored the entire chase, so I can play that chase back like this. I can stop the camera at any time, stop the motion, and then I can insert a camera, and I can choose between various cameras. This year's survival horror has a new name, Dino Crisis.
Dino Crisis is looking awesome due to the 3D polygonal background, the amazing CG intro, and all of the other gameplay elements that made Resident Evil series so popular. Some of the things that make the game suspenseful are the way the dinosaurs act like they're hunting you as their prey. They like to play with you, they like to run after your character, they'll stop and stare at you and come at you.
Ace Combat 3.
One of the coolest new features in Ace Combat 3 is the ability to look around your plane from first-person point of view to third-person point of view. This allows you to actually track your enemies much easier, and it's all done in real time, so gameplay is not affected when you do it. So one of the cool things that we're seeing right now is the ability to look backwards. It's one thing that's been added to the game that you couldn't do before. The story is always changing. In the beginning, you can become a peacekeeping officer. The next minute, you're a renegade, and this is all done in real time.
Marvel's outlaw heroes come to 3D life in Activision's X-Men.
What we have here is X-Men. It's probably the greatest comic book franchise in the history of comic books, and it's a syndicated television running 5 years. We have 14 characters pulled from all of the X-Men history, as well as Age of Apocalypse alternatives, with extra moves, extra abilities, making for really great gameplay. Real-time motion blur, a dynamic fighting camera system, which will allow the camera to move around the arena in ways that enhance the 3D feel of the fight.
Big wheelies, big air. That's Championship Motocross featuring Ricky Carmichael.
The greatest thing about Championship Motocross featuring Ricky Carmichael is its physics engine. The challenge with motocross is create a sensation that's not just like racing a skinny car, but rather racing a two-wheeled motorcycle that is very difficult to control, especially on loose dirt or other grassy, wet surfaces like that. There's a lot of big air. So you can see that you can just get huge air and rip really sick tricks. There are over 12 unique tracks in the game, and it's real tight. There's a lot of collisions, and you really got to stay out in front of the pack.
Crash is back in the race of his life with Crash Team Racing.
Naughty Dog is very excited for the first time in many years to be bringing a totally new engine to the PlayStation for Crash Team Racing, 4th Crash Bandicoot series. It's totally new, 1-player, 2-player, 3-player, 4-player racing game. You go through over 20 levels, and now for the first time you get to play as Crash, Coco, Cortex, Engine, Tiny Tiger, all of the good guys, all of the bad guys. There are over 13 characters to play as. It's head-to-head combat like you've never seen before on the PlayStation.
These are just 7 of the many cool games at E3. For more first looks, watch upcoming issues of the PlayStation Underground.